Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. We are really facing very interesting times in our nation. Things that we were told when we were young about the Nyayo era, and we thought they were imaginations, about detention without trial, about house arrest and all this. Now, today, we witness it. Ever since Azimio expanded their protest days for 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, William Ruto changed tactics and he decided to go lethal on them, arresting each and every person whom he thought was very instrumental in this Azimio protest. Now today, we've just realized that some of the Azimio leadership did not just keep off the demonstrations, but they were actually under arrest. Kalonzo Musyoka confirms that he has been under arrest for about 2 days now. This came out about 2 hours ago by the minority leader P&I, and I wanted to confirm. I wanted someone from the Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka Center to confirm this. And there is a lady called Paloma Gatabaki. Paloma Gatabaki is the communications lead of the Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka Command Center. So she's really responsible for all this kind of information from Kalonzo. Now, after word went round that Kalonzo has been under house arrest, this is what Paloma says. Yes, it is true that His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka has been under house arrest since Tuesday evening. The Subarus and Land Rovers have been stationed outside his current residence, preventing him from leaving. So that is someone from Kalonzo Musyoka's command center. Some people might treat this as rumors, but I want to corroborate these facts and prove to you that I buy this narrative that Kalonzo has been arrested. Since Tuesday, very many things have happened. Babu Wino was arrested. In fact, as we speak, he was rearrested just hours after being given some leeway for 100,000 shillings bail. Maina Njenga was arrested yesterday. Up to date, we don't know where he is. His whereabouts are really concealed from us. Ogeta, who is Raila's immediate aide and his security personnel, was arrested. Dennis Onyango, who is Raila's spokesperson, was arrested. I also understand that people like Makau Mutua was arrested. Somebody like George Alado was arrested. Ruto has been in an arrest spree. He's arresting all these people. By arresting Raila's aide, that was very close to arresting Raila Amolo Odinga. There's been a narrative within the Kenya Kwanza team that this Azimio leadership must be arrested so that the country can calm down. They are still living in denial that the people who are on the streets are doing that because they are being pushed by Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Amolo Odinga, and Kalonzo Musyoka. And so all the leadership had a pinch of the wrath. To the Uhuru family, his mother had his security with the drone. Of course, they have been returned. So there has been a lot of intimidation in the country to cause fears. Kalonzo Musyoka is a senior member in this country, a senior citizen. He's been a vice president. He's held several dockets and portfolios, even in the Nyayo era when they were working together with William Ruto. And you see, I've heard people say that William Ruto is a dictator. And I thought that maybe, just maybe. Now today, William Ruto is implementing everything that he learned from Moi himself. When you arrest or you place Kalonzo Musyoka under house arrest, you are testing the patience of the country. Just what will happen? Can the country erupt? Because you remember on Wednesday, Machakos went on rampage and they chased policemen. So this is a test. What will happen if they place Kalonzo Musyoka under house arrest? Will the country go on rampage? Because this is why Babu Wino is in, Maina Njenga is in, Kalonzo Musyoka, Raila Odinga says that he's been sick. You never know. Truly, these are the times. The signs and symptoms. Are those even signs and symptoms? Those are, I don't know how to call them, but of a dictator. And it is good that we now see it, leave alone the stories that we were being told by Moi era. And if whatever we were being told by Moi is anything to go by, then I'll not be surprised if William Ruto sponsors any bill in parliament to ensure that we remove the term limit. Because how do you even, I mean, you even imagine that you want to place Kalonzo Musyoka under house arrest? But I love the way Azimio has kept a low profile, because had they come up in full swing, had they told the Kenyans that Kalonzo Musyoka is under house arrest, maybe the country will be burning. But I know that the Kenya Kwanza team will be bragging. They have the bragging rights of this kind of dictatorship, because they want to cause fears. They want to ensure that anybody who will think of going for any demonstrations moving forward will fear, because the leaders have been placed under house arrest. The leaders have been arrested physically. The leaders have been intimidated. But if you noticed, even without the leaders on the streets, Kenyans still took to the streets to fight for their own emancipation, because it is sinking in their mind that this is not about Raila Odinga or Kalonzo Musyoka or Martha Karua, Eugene Wamalwa, you know, all this. It is about the people. Because if they sit down and watch the country being governed under the leadership of dictatorial tendencies, then they know very well things are going to get worse. But finally, I want to tell you this. The main reason why William Ruto has decided to go tough on the politicians and the people is one, and it is hidden, most people don't realize. We have a bill by Okia Mutata. Not a bill, but a case. The Finance Bill 2023. This is very important to William Samoei Ruto. He will use every means to ensure that the judges pass or rule in favor of the government. For him to do this, he must create tension within the country so that the judges will fear. It is not so much about the Azimio. He knows very well that when he suppresses the freedom and the rights of the Azimio and they stop going to the streets, then he will instill fear to the judges, so that by the time the ruling day comes, judges will not be led by the penal codes and the constitution and their conscience, but they will be led by fear. And when this happens, William Ruto will carry the day. I wonder the safety and the security of our judges, because the way the government is behaving, I can assure you that someone is being targeted. And you remember, these are human beings. Even as we speak, I don't know what has happened to them, because from what is happening, things are not really good. After arresting people like Kalonzo Musyoka and all these people, what is the next move, ladies and gentlemen? I can assure you that, you see, this is just a test. If he succeeds in suppressing the opposition, the next, I can assure you, is the media. Remember how they were harassed today and manhandled when Babu Owino was being rearrested, without any fear, without any, you know, in fact, I remember someone was saying, sisi ni watu wa media gani, and they are being pushed out. The next is the media. And even the social media, those who are doing analysis and the bloggers, maybe, just maybe. And so, ladies and gentlemen, Kenyans, I think, should rise up. Maybe they are still waiting for the communication, official communication of way forward about from the Azimio fraternity. And William Ruto just wanted the 3 days to end without Babu Owino, to end without Kalonzo, to end without Raila. But you see, it also worked for the Azimio fraternity, because in a sense, in a way, people have proved that they can go to the streets even without the presence of the Azimio leaders. Where are we headed? Indeed, this is Nyayo reloaded.